Ms. Naseem Irfan will deliver a talk on building the confidence to say no to harmful choices, helping us learn the importance of resisting peer pressure, making smart decisions, and choosing a healthy, drug-free life.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How are you all? Great. How's everything going on? How's your day going on? You said good, but the way you said it, that is also important, isn't it? And that is more significant. Right? Okay, so ma'am has introduced me a little bit for you guys so that we know each other, that who am I and who you are. We'll be just talking about little interesting phenomena or the topic. Which one is you? Okay, so what do we choose? This or this?
This.
Who's that?
Elon Musk.
Yes, and he's famous for?
SpaceX. Tesla.
Maybe addiction? No.
Success.
For a success, well said. So what could be our option? Of course, if I give you two options, who would you want to be? There is no second thought about it, right? Right? Okay, let's see who next we have.
No.
That's the same person. First, yes. First, I gave you two options. Now we have the same person, but we have two choices option. One choice can lead you to this stage. The other choice can lead you to the other option, the other state. Right? Let's see who is next. Have you ever seen such people?
Yep.
Yeah, where?
Near down the bridge.
Down the bridge, well said. And? Outside the shops, great. Huh? Oh, really? Oh, that's a news as well, ma'am. Okay, but do we ever wonder who are these people? From where they come from?
They do drugs and when they are like not in their senses because
Yes. So which means they are not born like this, right? Their choices brought them here. They are here because of their choices at earlier stages of life. Let's say at when you were a teen, like you guys are. When you want to be like somebody like Elon Musk and you want a lot of money, more success, right? Maybe at that time of point, they selected something like this and now they are here. What does this mean? That whatever we select at this age or the earlier stage of life, that does go long way along that, isn't it? Whatever you select at this time. Okay, let's see what we have next. Little old, like millennial or like Gen Z's thing. But are you aware of this person?
yes, friends.
Friends, good. Yes. Right? Look at the difference.
Yeah. First he's young, now he's like
Young,
different.
without addiction. The second one is with addiction. Because that person suffered through addiction problem also.
Huge substance abuse problem.
Substance abuse, yes.
And then he passed away from drug abuse.
Yes. Yes, he passed away. And the report says the reason behind is the substance abuse. Okay? So all these people, they are remarkable people, they are successful people, but what happened to them all of a sudden? Just one choice. Right? Just one choice. That choice made difference in their lives. Okay? Next, please. Again, a celebrity. From this successful state, right down to that addiction stage.
She looks like a hobo.
And what makes her look like that way?
Substance abuse.
Just a substance abuse or maybe addiction. We use these terminologies alternatively. There's little difference, but we use alternatively, substance abuse or addiction, right? Okay? Because this is just not one term. This is just not one problem. That is the starting of a lot bigger problem. I just heard psychiatric issues, maybe health issues, maybe your behavioral issues, maybe your psychological issues. Next, please. We often see such sports person. They are doing great. They're on the top of their career, and then they get into drugs and the substance use.
Was he a cyclist?
No. He wasn't a cyclist. Yes. And then they end up in certain things, and through dope testing and through different testing, they lose a lot of their career, their potentials, their endorsement, their business deals, and all, and a lot more.
Even the medals too.
Yes, sometime. So just one choice can cause them their whole career. Okay, so the point is that we know through all these images. These are just few examples. There are 100 more examples around us. And as we saw that picture, like people lying under the bridge and somewhere around in our society, they never meant to be there. They never aimed to be there. Okay, when I grow up, I want to end up under the bridge, lying unconsciously. They never aimed for this, right? They never prepared for this. They never get education for this. They never get training for this. This was just their one choice. And that choice probably was because of different reasons. We'll look into those reasons in a while. So then we can figure out if we also have certain reasons and how we can fight against and stay strong against those reasons. Okay, so that is the topic or the discussion, I would say, that we are discussing around this topic. We have a little activity for you guys. One of my team member will distribute small chits among you guys. You open that and share with us what's written there. Okay? Ariba, randomly, please. What's in your chit? Wait, we'll share it. Okay, so we'll start sharing from here.
It says that you can use drugs occasionally and not get addicted.
Okay, the first statement is that you can use drugs occasionally and not get addicted to that. So what is it? It's a myth or a fact?
It's a myth.
Okay, anybody else? I would like to hear from all of you. Is it a myth or a fact? Okay. It's a fact. Okay. Okay, now we have two opinions. Somebody says it's a myth and somebody says it's a fact. How is it a fact? How is it a fact?
Well, if you, for example, take smoking. If you smoke in moderation, you can leave it anytime you want. If you any type of drug like that in a small amount, you can leave it when you want.
Once you start taking the drug has that control, not you. Okay? Even if you take it in a small amount, as I said earlier, I showed you the picture with the purpose that all those people who were lying around, would they ever say, okay, I'll take in moderation, I'll take like 1 cigarette a day? Can you read the statement again, please?
The statement says that you can use drugs occasionally and not get addicted.
Because these are powerful substances. These substances does affect your nervous system. which would cause irreversible damage to your nervous system. So once you start taking, even if it is your first time, that you no longer have control over your choices. The drug would have control over you. So that's a myth. Okay, next we have.
As soon as a person feels normal, all the drug is out of the body.
Okay. As soon as a person is feeling normal, the drug is out of that person's body. Is a fact or a myth? It's a myth. Because it affects more than your behavior. Sometimes you feel that you are normal and the drug is away from your body. And we say it in a more technical term that the cycle or the half-life of the drug is over, but no, that's not right. There are few drugs, and those stays in your system even for 3 months, like marijuana. Cocaine stays in your blood for 3 weeks, more than 3 weeks in fact. And marijuana stays in your blood more than 3 months. So that's a myth. No, you don't. Your drug doesn't go away from your system as soon as you feel normal. That's again a myth. Next we have.
Drugs relieve stress and help deal with problems.
That's also interesting. I do drugs because I feel so stressed. I have all the problems in my life. Does these drugs affects our problems or help us deal with our problems?
No.
Instead, what they do?
What they do is basically they like cover it up. It's like throwing dirt underneath a carpet. You know it's there, you're just hiding it.
Yes. So problems are not gone anywhere. They are still there, probably in a better in a worse shape, probably more piled up in a better position at the moment, or maybe you add into those problems. Right? This is just you can say this is just a way of denial, that you deny your problems, or you just don't care for a while. But what if you come out of this problem and everything stays back? That's possible. Because through your addiction, through your usage of certain substances, will never help you to solve those problems. Imagine you have exam next day. And you say, oh no, I am so stressed out, I can't be relaxed. Maybe a cigarette can make me relax. Maybe I'll be able to focus on my studies. And then you do it, and then you are not there for your exam as well. And your teacher is looking for you. Oh, where is that student? So that thing only added into your problem. You wasn't prepared for the exam and you missed the exam. So there are 2 problems now instead of 1. You get it? Okay, who's next?
Drugs,
Okay, I think ladies first.
drugs mess with your brain, wiring and signals.
Drugs mess with your brain,
Wiring and signals.
rewiring your signals.
Wiring and signals.
Yes.
Okay, it's a fact or a myth?
Fact.
It's a fact. I think now with the previous discussion, we can understand that this is a fact. Because as I said earlier, the brain messes with your reward system. The reward system is a system in our brain because with this, you will get the bombardment of dopamine, for example. And that will mess your whole neurological basis, your whole nervous system. Same, like junk food can mess with your physiological system, with your physique. Not like a controlled junk food, but excess. Same way the drugs can mess with your brain system. Please.
You have to use a drug or alcohol for a long time before they can.
Okay, so what do you think? It's a myth or a fact? What happened instead? That you have to use alcohol or drug for a long time in order to let that drug affect your system. Yes, please.
Basically, you take in a huge amount of the dosage, and then your brain, because alcohol, it starts messing with it, it starts seeing things that are not really there.
Yes.
Or it hears something and then it overreacts to it, which is why most people who use alcohol are all
Rightly said. We say them hallucinations probably. You start seeing other things which are not real. You start hearing voices which are not there. That can be one type of effect or one classification of drug effect, not the effect of every drug. But that is the effect of one classification of drug. There are different classifications among the drugs. And we distribute or classify in them into different categories. There are generally 4 categories. So we are not going into there, but there are different 4 categories. So that is the effect of one type of drug, one classification of drug. But even one-time use can cause you impact. But yes, we can say that one-time usage, the effects of one-time usage would not be that hard and that too visible as compared to the one who's using all the time, who's more frequent user. But it doesn't mean that one-time user will never get affected. The one-time user will also get affected. Their nervous system will also get certain alteration, and those would be permanent, irreversible, because they rewire your system. Okay, we get satisfaction out of certain activities. If you eat a good meal, do we feel happy?
Yeah.
We feel happy, right? We get satisfaction. Why? Because our reward system releases the signal that, okay, you're happy, you're full, you're satisfied. But with the drug, and that's how you started with one cigarette. Okay, I'll just try one cigarette. Then I can control my drug. But the one cigarette, you get that reward from your reward service, from your reward circuit. Next time, you will not get the same with one cigarette. Next time, in order to get the same reward, what would happen? You will have to smoke 2 cigarettes. Right? After 2 cigarettes, then you'll move to the 3 cigarettes. And that's how you end up probably a pack a day. And we see these people, right? Mostly. Because again, it's never planned. You don't have a plan. Okay, this standard, then I'm out of this. After this standard, then I'm out of this. Once you start doing it, once you choose to do it, then you give your control to that drug as well. Right? Okay, who's next?
Okay. Smoking causes bad breath, damage to skin, and loss of stamina.
Yes. What is it? It's a math or a fact?
Fact.
It's a fact. It's a loud, clear fact. With the addiction, yes, Bachchan?
And it also causes lung cancer.
Yes, lung cancer, a lot of your breathing problem, your oral cancer, your oral hygiene, that can help you in bad breath. I think that will come in another statement also. Bad breath, you get your, we try a lot to keep our skin fresh, to keep our physique good, to be in a good health and shape as well. But because of the smoking, they can cause you early wrinkles, like way before its time. And the dry skin. And you can get the all type of oral problem, oral hygiene problem. Bad breath is on the top among those. Yes, please. And the next we have.
Because drugs are illegal, no one can really know what's in them.
That's a fact or a myth. It's a myth, okay.
And for fact.
It's a fact. Okay, now we have like difference of opinion. What makes you think it's a... I come to you.
Well, if it's a kind of fact, because if the drug's not really known throughout the area, then you might not know. But if you're aware of what the drug contains and yet it's still illegal, then you know what it's going to do to you.
Yes. Like this water bottle. It's legal in our country.
Yes.
So on this water bottle, we are aware what type of ingredients are in this bottle, right? Because it's legal. All the ingredients are mentioned on the label, right? But when drugs are illegal, they don't tell you, okay, these are the ingredients for such illegal drug. You go through this, you buy it, and then, end up in the jail. They will never tell you what is inside it. Rather, the dealers, they often mix or cut the drugs into different combinations to get the more effect of that, to get the strongest effect of that. So you are never completely aware of the particles or the substances or the elements those are in the drugs, because they're illegal. They cannot give you the prescription. They cannot give you the complete ingredient list, what's inside. Even the doctors, right? Because it's illegal. You can't go to doctor. Look, doctor, I'm taking this cocaine. Can you tell me what is inside this? Doctor say, okay, wait for a while, and they'll call the cops and hey, this person has cocaine. Right? Yes, please.
Also, ma'am, they don't tell you like what quantity you should take and how you should take it. And sometimes when you see the cases of people dying, they figure out how they died.
Yes.
It's usually because they didn't know how to take that
Yes.
drug and they overdosed.
That's really true. Because in first time, you're not aware what type of drug it is, what type of quantity is suitable for you, and what is actually in that drug. If you take in combination or the cut in layman term, that will be more dangerous to your health. Even the first time usage can cause you so much harm, even death. Again, because we don't know what's inside. If I'm selling something legal, as I gave you the example of this water bottle, I will tell you what type of substances are there, what type of things I put into this thing, right? And you never buy anything which doesn't have anything written on that. If you are like, if you're conscious about your health, you would see the label, you would see how much of the sugar, how much of the carbs are in there, right? You will never buy anything like blindly, without any clue. But the drugs, they come without any clue, because they can't advertise that. They can't put all the ingredients. Okay, look, I put this much of cocaine, this much of alcohol, this much of marijuana, and this is the perfect combination for you. You take it. Okay? And who's next? Ji Bicha, I think you shared with us. Anybody else? I think there are 2-3 more. Please. Please share with us. No, you don't want to share? You can give to somebody else if they want to read it out. I'll take your question. I'll just take your question in a while. You can just pass it on to somebody.
Drugs are now safer, but the number of teens using drugs has increased.
Drugs are safer, but the number of teens using these drugs has increased.
I'd say it's kind of.
Okay, this is a little tricky, because this is little tricky, because we cannot really say the number of teen has increased, but the lethality and the toxicity of those drugs definitely increased so much. So the chances of addiction and the chances of getting affected are more higher than ever. And I think we have 1 or 2 more. There were a few more, isn't it? You can give back to the Ariba. She can read it out for us.
Okay, so this one says कि one.
So you have 2, but you don't share with us. It's okay.
Okay, so this one says कि one experience with drugs is enough to change your brain.
It's a fact or myth? It's a fact. We already discussed this, right?
And the next one says कि you are constantly being bombarded with messages about drugs and songs and movies.
Yes. Do you remember of any song? Which song? Well said. So we always hear such type. All honey sing songs. Yes, to say the rap beat with the high beat, you get. The study says that out of 4, in 3 songs you get to hear such words or the name of drugs. They might sound really cool, but they have lethal impact. Now, I understand that just by listening to those things, you won't use that. But what happens is that if we frequently listen to that and hear such stuff on the media, what happens? That becomes normal to us. We get desensitized. Right? If we keep on talking and we keep on listening and we keep on watching such stuff, so then we are just used to that stuff. We no longer think that, oh, this is not bad, or we shouldn't be doing this. You might think, oh, okay, fine, this is acceptable, because Honey Singh is singing. Right? And this rap culture, they have, like as I said earlier, 3 these rap songs, the high beats out of 4, they have such words. So just be aware that your playlist is your vibe. And your vibe can impact your life, and your vibe can drive you to become the person you want to be, or you are wherever you would be. So choose wisely, select your vibe wisely. Right? When we meet somebody, they have vibe, right? Are you aware of this term vibe? I'm sure you are. Right? So playlist is also your vibe. Select your vibe very wisely. Because songs are important. The music is really important for us. I mean, who doesn't love music? Then there are different genres, there are different categories of music. And the different songs, different categories are meant for your different moods. When you want to party, you would like to listen to the high beats. When you are You want to be calm, you would probably go to the, which kind of music you prefer when you want to be relaxed? When you want to be relaxed, jazz? Okay, good choice. And not? Yes. Why not?
Ma'am, when a person is in what you can say, exciting mood, he can listen to hip hop.
Hip hop, yes. Those, yes, those hip hop culture or the rap or whatever you like. So, हम कहते हैं ना कि म्यूजिक रूह की ख़ज़ा है. एक बहुत उर्दू में हम एक खूबसूरत जुमला बोलते हैं, isn't it? So that truly is. Only if you select it wisely. Only if you select it wisely. Otherwise, this statement can turn other way around as well. Ariba, is there any more? Okay. Okay, so with this small activity, I think we understood what is the fact and what is the myth. Because often we mix these myths with the facts and we take myths as fact. And that's how we are not aware of our choices. That whatever we are selecting, because we are not fully informed of those choices. Please, next, Kirtan. What could be the causes of choosing a drug?
Peer pressure.
Well said. The biggest cause at the moment for your age group is peer pressure.
They say to you, yaar, ek kash laga le, kuch nahi hota. Ek dafa hota.
You look cool.
Yeah, you look cool. You look like a bum.
Oh, you look like a bum. I learned a new word as well. So, okay, so yes, and that is the most effective and the strongest form of peer pressure. How can we imagine peer pressure? Can anybody tell me?
Like there's a group of friends and you're like not the only one who's a non-smoker, so their friends come to you, they make you friends and then they force you to yaar laga lo, kuch nahi hota. You'll be healthy. They'll tell you the fake, what you can say, facts about it, that it makes your health good, it keeps you focused in the exam. So like when you get fascinated, you do it and then you do it again and again and again and again and again.
And why we do it again and again? Because of our reward system, which we already discussed, right? Then no longer it's in your control because your brain is addicted to that. Your reward system is not at that place without that drug anymore, right? Imagine if any one of you is standing here and there are two people, one me and one miss, and we are just pushing you to our sides. That's how the pressure works, the peer pressure. Now we have two options. Either you go to any of these sides where the pressure is more, right? I'm more powerful, my ma'am is more powerful. So where is the more pressure, you go that side. The other way is that you push us back, right? The other way is possible that you push us back, that I'll make my choice myself. I'll decide whatever I want to do. You don't push me or pull me towards any choices. Okay, what could be the other factors?
Loneliness.
Okay, your internal factors, probably loneliness, your
Mostly depression.
depression, your anger issues. Maybe you are alone. Maybe you are, you are not coping with any external pressure.
If your family members neglecting you.
Yes, yes, Vijay.
And stress could also be one, such as people have high expectations for you, and then you feel as though, what if you can't come up
Yes.
reach those expectations? What if you want to do something else and then something happens and then you start to get like these huge feelings, and then some people just start taking them just that they can like.
Well said. The same thing we discussed earlier, that you say, okay, I'm stressed because of this task, so let's just do this so that I will be relaxed. Whereas you're not handling that task, you are rather procrastinating that task, or you are building up on that task. That would cause you more stress after that. Because once you're high, that high level will go away. That intoxication will go away slowly, right? When you would be back in senses, then the smaller thing will look even bigger because you just only piled up on that task or stress or element. Okay, we are talking about external factors, and internal factors, your own choices, your own style, your own, let's say, your own mental or emotional state. If you're stressed, if you're lonely, if you're depressed, these can lead you. Then what should we do? When we say these are external factors, these factors might affect our choices, then what we can do? I'll tell you, or we'll do one exercise that's very interesting, and I think that would be helpful for you at the end. that how you can handle these factors. I'm sure any one of us can go through any kind of such factor, right? But then there are ways to cope such things. We'll discuss one exercise at the end that will help you to cope in such situations. Okay. Next we have, as we discussed earlier, that you can fight back that pressure. Right? If your peers are putting that pressure, if your tasks are putting that pressure, you are capable. You are in this age full of energies, full of strengths, full of ambitions. So you have more power than me probably to fight back all these pressures. And then there are different techniques and different methods. Through those techniques and methods, you can always learn more ways to handle that pressure. But because you people are in this age, you are way more stronger than us, than my generation, than me probably. Okay. Next, please. Who doesn't want to stand out from the crowd?
And there's a crowd and you don't want to go out of it.
There are two options: standing away or against or away from the crowd, which means in two ways. And what those two ways could be: with success, with addiction. There are two possible ways, right? With success, like we know all those billionaires, young billionaires, we just saw one, and there are a few more. They are also, they are not part of the crowd. They are not part of the crowd. Same way, you can choose. There are two options: which path you want to opt, and how you want or can stand against the crowd or stand away from the crowd. Next, please. As we discussed that the support group, that we know the ways to cope with certain situation. And I'll just talk about this in a while, because I would want to give you one strategy to handle these issues. Whenever you feel certain factors, your internal factors or external factors, so then you would, it's just a technique. If you practice this, if you learn it, that would be more effective for you. Okay, we'll discuss in a while. Are we aware of this man?
I don't know.
Allah, that's true.
For 9 years at the peak of his career.
Yes.
Like playing such a big role in the famous movie.
Before that, he got that role after coming out of this thing.
When he was younger, he had a huge problem with.
Yes. He was in prison. He went through this whole problem. He came out of this problem before doing that movie with support. He was lucky that he got that support. Imagine if he couldn't get that support at the right time, शायद हम उनको ऐसे ना देखते कभी.
Oscar हम आते हैं.
और शायद हम ये इतना आइकॉनिक रोल भी कभी याद ना रखते.
You wouldn't even know who hired him.
Yes. Maybe somebody else. I think we can't think of anybody in this role at the moment. Yeah. So he came from this to this with support. And he was lucky. And there are few people who get this much of support to get this transformation. And again, I'm saying we'll do that activity regarding social support in a while. Next, please. Okay. I think now we will talk about that activity. Through that, we can also form our social support groups, and we can reach out to those social support groups. My team members, my friends, my students, they will distribute pages and pens, and I'll just instruct you, and you just follow through instructions, and they are here to help you. If you need help, you can ask them. They can help you out as well. After this, I'll tell you what are you supposed to do. We don't have enough pens? Do you have pens? Yes, you have bags, so hopefully. Just a minute, just.
There's also another really famous celebrity, which I'm sure all of the kids here know about. Spider-Man from Holland. You guys know about him?
Yeah.
He also struggled with like alcohol problems, and now recently because again of his support circle, his family love, he's come out of it, and he has come up with a non-alcoholic beverage brand. So now being
Yes.
non-alcoholic, being drug-free.
Imagine if this addiction was a good thing, then why would these people talk against that? Right? Why would they suffer through that? Because again, once you start it, you don't have control. You give your control to that particular drug.
It's very surprising to know that characters like these that we know that they're successful, they have fame, they have gone through the stage. And
They have really, yes, and recovered. Only few of them has really recovered because of their social support, and they were lucky enough to get that support. Yes, Ruchi.
Sometimes even all that fame can cause you to become unhappy.
Of course, there are different factors. As we said, there are different factors, internal and external factor. Probably that stress or the pressure out of that fame that can cause you. And there are other celebrities also. They went through that pressure and stress. But then again, this is your time to choose wisely. Out of that stress, because of that stress, what you want to choose? You want to fight back that stress or the pressure? Or you just want to avoid that pressure? Okay, you have a page and a paper, right? I want you to draw yourself in the middle of the page. Just try very well. It will work. Huh? It's up to you. The way you see yourself,
Big or small?
it's up to you. But just remember that you have to keep space for 3 circles around that figure. So don't draw that big so that you don't have space for that circle around that figure. So the way you see yourself, it's up to you. It's up to you. You want to draw a stick man, hangman, Spider-Man, a girl, a boy, Chan, Chehra, whatever you do. It's up to you. Just draw yourself. Don't look at other people. Don't draw others. Draw yourself. Just observe them if they are able to draw. Are you done? The stick figure is fine. You're just drawing yourself. Okay. Let's see. Yes, PK wale kaan or whatever you want to see yourself, you're just drawing that. Okay, now I want you to draw one circle around that figure and name it as circle A. And then one more circle outside this circle and name that circle circle B, and then third circle circle C. Did you draw that figure? Can you help me? After that circle A, you draw one circle outside that circle A and name it as circle B, and then the circle C outside that circle B. these circle represent your social support circle. Okay? And now I just want that you stay quiet for a while. Just think about yourself. Think about people around you, and just choose people from your support group, from around you. They can be your family, friends, cousins, whatever you choose from. You just choose different people whom you can keep in circle A. The circle A is the closest to you, the most close circle to you. They are the closest group of people for you. Just think, you can name them, let's say whatever their names are, or you can mention them with relation as well. Let's say your brother or sister, or you want to name them, you can write the names as well. Just think. Sometimes we say, okay, my mother is, because I live with my mother or my father, they are my closest. We are not talking about the physical proximity, right? We are not talking about the physical closeness. We are talking about the emotional closeness. There might be a person, your brother or sister, or anybody who probably lives far away from you, but you are more emotionally connected to that person. Inside the circle, yes. You can write their names inside circle A, or you can write your relation with that person in circle A. Just think, write, focus, write wisely. Choose your people wise whom you can put in circle A. All those people whom you can keep in circle A. Choose wisely. You might have 100 people around you at different levels, but circle A is the closest emotionally, not physically. We are not talking about physical proximity. There are people. Are we able to list few in circle A? Okay. That's okay if we can't find out anybody for the circle A. And if it's okay if we find like more than 2-3 people in circle A. Technically, there can't be many people in circle A. Right? I can't put, well, how many have you written? At least 6. You've written more than 6? Now 9 is too much. You have to figure out again out of these 9.
Ma'am, can we have ourselves
You are already in the circle. You are already yourself is in the circle. That's why you draw yourself. Technically, we can't have many people in circle A because circle A is the closest to yourself. Whatever you do, even if it's right, wrong, embarrassing, it's for pride, whatever it is, you will tell that person.
what if we do have 9 people or
So you are saying you did something which doesn't make much of the sense. You would just tell 9 people out of this? You're like equally at the same level? Not at the same level. You can't tell those 9 people everything right from 1 till 100. Some you'll tell 5 to 10, and then 1 to 5, maybe to somebody 1 to 20. There would be fluctuations. Then we need to do other circle. Open book, what do we mean by open book? Open book doesn't mean that you are easily understandable. I think that is the ideology behind open book. It doesn't mean that you would tell everything to me as well. I'm meeting you for the first time. If you're open book, I should know everything about your life. It's not possible. Right? So you will tell about yourself to certain people, those who only can be in circle A. Look, it's difficult. We think, our parents are the closest. It's really difficult when you keep people at different levels, or you perceive them at different levels. It gets really tricky. Okay, all those who are done with the circle A, now you have to fill the circle B. Here, there can be a little more people. The one who are not very close to you, for circle B, it's represent little away from you, or not that close as compared to circle A. So you write the name in circle B, or you write your relations in circle B. Here you can list many people if you want to. Okay, we have written the closest in circle 1. So the closest, the closer, and then those who are only little close to you. Maybe in circle C can be your classmate, can be your, your peer group, and depending upon your relationship with them. In circle B, only those would come who are close to you, but not as much as the circle A is. And then the circle C. In circle C, there could be your colleagues, your peers, your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, like the remaining, all other remaining people around you, or your remaining relationships. Now, whenever you feel or you face pressure from this circle C, rather than joining that circle C, go inside the circle A. Whenever you feel pressure from outside the circle C or from the circle C, you don't join that circle C, you go inside the circle A. By that, I mean that whenever you feel pressure, whenever you feel a push, whenever you feel peer pressure, whenever you feel stress, rather than consulting or joining your circle C, you go to your circle 1, circle A. Because there are those people who are more closest to you. They are closest to you. They will tell you how to handle that pressure, how to cope with that stress, how to go with that stress. Often we do this mistake that we go to circle C because we are getting pressure from circle C, we join that circle. That's how peer pressure works as well. We go and join that circle and we are with that circle, so there's no more pressure. When the friend says, okay, take one cigarette, जैसे इन्होंने कहा कि एक कश ले लें, कुछ नहीं होता है. Because you joined the circle C. So you joined the circle C. So whenever you are being offered with such things, whenever you feel that pull from circle C, you go back to your circle A, and now you know that who's in your circle A. You go back and you ask them. They'll take you away. They'll tell you how to cope. They will support you at that time. Because if you're aware of the emergency numbers, emergency calls, it will take you a second to call them, right? But if you're not aware of those emergency numbers, what if there's accident on the road? You're not aware of any emergency number. You won't be able to call anybody, right? But what if you know the emergency services, you know the ambulance number, you know the police number, you know the helpline numbers? You would be immediately calling them and getting the help you need. This works the same way. You have this circle A as your closest, those who you can trust. They are your emergency helpline. Whenever you get any problem from circle C, you call these people. Some of you, I saw they were having or facing a little difficulty while filling circle A. You can just take time and do it afterwards as well. Okay, and that brings me to the end. Thank you so much. You were wonderful and participative. Is there any question? Ma'am, do we have time?
I have a question.
Yes, she was asking.
This is very statistical. As you know, there are falls and waves are growing in Pakistan. Like day by day, there's a new shop opening in Islamabad,
Yes.
Walk, and even on the cigarette packs, the government says it's injurious to your health, and even our own law says that these drugs are illegal in the country. Even the customs, even the customs say they're illegal.
Yes.
Why are these certain shops and certain things are being sold by some random shopkeeper or big store of away where there's a collection, a lot of things? Why are they being sold, and then that's how our teenagers, our youth are being?
Yes. What's your name?
Simon.
Simon. He said it right. Okay, I completely agree with his statement. But then my question is, so by saying that, we means that I'm putting away my responsibility to the government. It's very convenient for government to ban these products. They would ban it, nobody would get it. But what about illegal ways? And secondly, we are responsible for our own behaviors as well. I am responsible for my choices. There are certain countries where there are certain drugs are legal. Their legality doesn't make them harmless. Right?
You know, when we come to Pakistan, there's a small child like me, he says, oh, bro, tell what's the rate of the same. The shopkeeper will tell him, but if you go
Yes.
to a country like US, first they will ask that, are you 18? Do you have any identification?
Yes.
They will, if they will see, they will verify that.
There are ways to get away with that as well. You send your elder cousin to get it for you.
Yeah, you can say 100, yeah.
Yes, so by legislation, we just can't control everything. We have the responsibility of our choices. We are responsible for our future. We need to see what is good and what is bad for us. We need to choose wisely for our future, for our own future, because it's me. For government, yes, there is responsibility for the government. If everything happens so lawfully and legislation-wise, then there would not be any crime on the street, isn't it? But that doesn't make me free of that tension that, okay, I can't choose for myself. I'm responsible for my choices. I'm responsible for my career. I'm responsible for my life. So I have to choose wisely, nobody else. I can't put this pressure or blame to anybody else. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Nobody asks the positive aspects of the drugs. So there are many people who use drugs for the creativity. Like they use mushrooms, cannabis, even marijuana to bring out their creativity. Don't you think it's a positive aspect of drugs?
Okay. Is there any positive effect of any drug? Cannabis, marijuana, heroin, there are many more, magic mushrooms, there are many more.
Sometimes we hear medicinal drugs, right? So in some states of America, it's legalized that you can use marijuana. I think it's used for seizures sometimes I think some other illnesses, and it's allowed, it's legal, and studies say that it helps. So,
Okay, there are certain prescribed drugs. They can also work as addictives or substance abuse, or they can be addictive as well. They are prescribed by a doctor. Like for intense pain, you take morphine. Let's say at the last stage of cancer, when there's nothing working for you, so you only want relief from that pain, so you use morphine. Doctor prescribe you to use morphine, and there in Islamabad there are certain places where doctor would lead you to those places, and you get the morphine, and that's prescribed. Nobody would question you. Nobody would, charge you any legal thing with that. But does that mean, okay, that doesn't cause you pain, so I should be on morphine? Why not?
Ma'am, I would just like to say that the euphoria is often very short-lived. It
Yes.
helps in the short term, but in the long term, it's always going to be negative.
As we discussed earlier, and Sir said as well, that initially you do it for your creativity, to get relief, you choose it, right? After that, you can't do it. It's not in your hand. Okay, I'll do this much for this much creativity. Okay, you took your creativity out with a certain amount of drug. After that, that certain amount of drug will not help you out, because you develop tolerance against that. After that, you would have to double the amount, then triple the amount to get that same level of intoxication, or same level of the high. So it's always intoxicating. It would add up into it. It would cause you addiction, and you won't be able to do anything, leave about the creativity. You won't be able to do your daily life things, because they will cause you irreversible motor problems as well. If you see anybody who's coming out from rehab, they often have tremors and the shivering. They might not be able to hold something in their hands. That's extreme form, those who come from the rehab at extremist level. Thank you so much.